Thank you very much for the warm welcome. We're very happy to be here. Super cool to be here in the South Summit. It's the 10th edition. My very great congratulations to Maria Benjumea. It's very difficult to achieve these years of success. So we're very happy to be here. Today we're going to be talking about the digitization of the banking industry. We are every day reading a lot of news about what is going on in this industry, which is a key industry for any country. And for that, we call Javier with us. Javier is the head of the digital banking in Italy for BBVA. They have made recently a strategic decision, which is to go into the Italian market and to try to offer their services from a 100% digital bank, which is a great step for a bank who is a very important bank in Spain, a very traditional bank, but they are well known not only because they have a great presence in Spain, because they are a very technological bank. So we are very happy to be here with Javier. Thank you very much to be with us.
Thank you, David.
My pleasure. And for starters, I would like to ask you, an open question. We don't have too much time. So I would like to know, from your perspective, your experience, you've been working in different parts of the world. You've been doing lots of different work. Now you've been 7 years in BBVA. From your perspective, how the digitization have changed the banking industry in the last years, and how it has affected the relationship with the customer, with the client?
Yeah, so thank you, and thank you for having me here. I think basically, similarly to other industries, I like to think that digitization is like the single best effort in simplification in the history of mankind, right? Because everything has to fit a very small screen, and that makes it very hard, but the same genius to bring all of this functionality and services at the touch of the hand, right? So I think the benefit for the customer is huge, obviously, and that goes across industries. And also from a business standpoint, and I think that speaks to our move to Italy, it basically allows any business to be global and to reach further markets because the interaction paradigm has changed, right? So I think that's pretty obvious, but it's really a realization that you can actually deliver most of your value proposition in a very convenient way, fully digitally, right? So I think those are the basic changes. I think the challenge now is let's keep putting technology at the center. Let's keep putting customers at the center and not technology, right? So these technologies were great because they served a customer purpose and they made customers' life simpler, right? We need to keep focusing on that, not just delivering technology for the sake of it, but deliver it to the extent to which it makes customers' life simpler. And well, I'm proud that BBVA has taken the initiative to show a challenge and to go after other markets, because that was typically the move from neobanks in the latest years. But we also, as incumbents, can play that game. We can go to other markets at a pretty scalable business model and reach other customers. So why not? It's been all right.
Excellent, excellent. Before talking about how is your experience now in Italy, I'd like to know, because you've been saying, you want to put the customer, in the center of your effort. But this is easier said than done, okay? So I would like to know, when you have a meeting with a technological guy, who is there, and he thinks technology is the main asset of the bank, and then you have the marketing guy, and you are in the middle, to try to balance, technology and the client needs. How do you manage that equilibrium?
I think I've been lucky enough to get enough clout to actually build a team that can think as one single brain. And I think that should be a design principle for any new venture when you're thinking about delivering a service to a client. So I am lucky enough that we have the privilege of not thinking about the technology guy and the business guy, the legal guy, the compliance guy, the fraud guy, the risk guy, the control and supervision guy. We don't think about guys, we think about the client. And we are all in the same boat. And then everyone brings a different angle, and you have to manage trade-offs. That's just life. Okay. If there is anyone in the team that is not feeling like there's a trade-off in what he's doing, then he's probably doing something wrong. Everyone has to go through the trade-off to get to the best outcome possible to the customer, right? So I think that's very much something you need to embed in your culture. So if you as a business guy are looking with prejudices to a technology guy, yeah, or the other way around, yeah, then something is wrong, right? And that's part of the journey also. Let's just focus on the client, not on our internal dialogue, and good things can happen. I think at the end of the day, when you're building products, when you're deciding what to do or what to build next, if you just are very rigorous in forcing everyone to talk about the client and what's best for him, the dialogue just comes natural. Because brilliant people tend to come to the same conclusions, okay, if they are talking about the same thing. Okay. The only problem is that sometimes we talk about different things because, okay, we come at it from different angles. Yeah. But that's just part of the fun.
So I suppose the culture, no, of the whole company is very, very important, no?
Yeah. I don't think, obviously, there is some merit to it, but I think the privilege of being small, and we are a small team in BBVA Italy, is that it's easier to handle. It's easier to think about the client. It's easier to decouple a little bit from your functional affinity and think about what's going to bring the next client to the door or what's going to make him happier, right? So, yeah, being small is, I guess, is an advantage in that sense.
Okay. So now it's been nearly 1 year in Italy for you. Things, I think, are going very well for BBV in Italy. You are leading, you know, the project of the bank, the digital bank in Italy. What can you tell us about your experience?
So it's been a ride, but maybe a few findings. One is this pride that I think we need to bring to the table. Big banks that we have been around for decades, that we can compete in the business today. We can compete in different markets, and we are experts in delivering banking products and services. So agility and time to market is a challenge to us, but what we've been doing in Italy proves that you can overcome that challenge. And if you overcome that challenge, and we are now building product at a very high speed, if you overcome the challenge and figure out the right operating model, then we have everything it takes, I think, to deliver a winning value proposition. And also a profitable one, right? I think the paradigm has changed. Obviously, neobanks, challengers, they're always bringing zero commission business models. But we have the tools, the product depth at banks to build something that is great for the client, also commission-free, but viable in the longer term for the bank, which is also, again, good for the client, right? And I think we have that clear roadmap in our head. Our launch was good. We are very, very happy with how it's going. We're very, very happy with customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, we are bringing what we know works in Spain to other countries in terms of mobile banking. But we also have a plan on how to make it viable and scalable. So that's what the first months have been about. And also, in coherence to what I was saying before, thinking every day, every single hour about how is the client behaving, what is he telling us. The role of data there is incredibly important because we don't have a physical footprint. Mm-hmm. We don't have advisors telling us the pulse of the client, but we have loads of data. And we have invested almost the same amount of effort building our data stack and our analytics capabilities that we have in invested in building our product, right? So this ability to measure your client's behavior by the day, by the minute, by the hour, to try to find out what he's telling you is very important. Also to grow organically with them. You shouldn't push products at clients. The relationship with a bank is a relationship of trust. A client is not going to bring a payroll with you if he hasn't brought maybe a bill first, if he hasn't done some swipes with the card. Maybe when he brings the payroll, at some point he's ready to get a loan with you. But it's organic. You shouldn't be pushing the clients. You should be listening to them and looking for that space to grow together, right? In terms of product development and prioritization as well. So that's what we are finding out. So we are also humble in that sense. We know how to do banking, but we don't know the Italian market. Yeah. We don't know the Italian clients, and we are learning as we go, and the experience has been good so far.
And could you talk us a little bit about your clients? Are they young people, middle-aged people, old people, women, men? What have you learned about your clients?
So I guess we have a flavor in Italy that is probably slightly different to the flavor we have in Spain, only because we are a new bank there. Not everyone knows us. So we have that upside of being a novelty and being a new bank, very, very fresh, right? So in that sense, we are getting a very substantial portion of our clients below 25, and they like the type of card that we have, the sexiness of it, the different features around security, the control of your card, your ability to save in a very fun way. But we get a solid 70% of our clients that are not in the younger segment, and it's just a mosaic of what Italy is, also from a geographic standpoint. And what we do see is, obviously, we are getting clients that want simplicity, non-sophisticated products, which is what we offer today, and they want convenience, right? We also offer a 24/7 customer service center, which I think it's a very interesting conversation there, because digital is meant to be convenient, and convenience sometimes means not being digital and being human. So you have to offer the client the best of both worlds, because otherwise you're putting technology first, client second, right? Okay. So we're also finding a lot of interest in customer service, people calling to the contact center, interested in the product, interested in knowing about us, and it's actually a lever for trustworthiness in our case, and to build this first layer of trust with our customers. Okay. And one thing, you are a new player in Italy. There are other traditional banks in Italy. You have neobanks in Italy. You have digital banks in Italy. It's the same all over the world right now. How do you manage this competitive environment? I think, obviously, the banking environment in Europe now is not the easiest one, both in terms of interest rates. Well, now it's looking like it's changing a bit, but in terms of saturation in the market, number of players, and business model, right? Because, as I said, challengers, neobanks, they are bringing this zero commission expectation to the customer, and that's fine, right? But I think the challenge that remains is not one of growth, but one of profitability, viability, and for example, one thing we're doing that we believe is different from what you see sometimes is we're taking the market, in this case Italy, very, very seriously, and we are going after credit services, which is not typical in some other challengers, because credit services are hard to deliver. You need to worry about understanding very well the client, your own risk appetite, managing the life cycle of those loans or buy now, pay later products. So it takes time, it takes local knowledge, it takes commitment, and sometimes it might go even a little bit against the scale and against immediate growth, right? But it's smart in the medium term, because it's going to bring a very solid client base, and it's going to bring relevance for them, because at the end of the day, we are banks. We are here to help clients achieve what they need, offering them financial services and financing services. So that's a very specific example of how we are taking the market and the clients very, very seriously, and somehow differently maybe from other challengers. We really want to be a universal digital bank, not an account and a credit card, you know, or an account and a debit card in most cases. So, but yeah, then basically you need to win your customers' trust every day. Most customers already have a bank, so you are starting always as a second bank to them.
Yeah.
And how do you play that battle? It's interesting. But maybe the advantage that you have there is that we are a small team and we can remain small because our business model scales, our platform scales, our capabilities scale, and we can fight that fight. We can offer interesting promotions, interesting pricing, because we can afford it in a viable way. So that's where the battle goes. And I think it's essential to, as a bank, keep fighting the fight of end customers. So stick to the customer relationship, stick to the user experience. There are other models, of course, very worthy of mention, and a lot of work being done in the B2B space, in the core banking space. But I think at the end of the day, customer is king. What we're doing in Italy is trying to put the best of our customer experience as well as banking products in the hands of Italians. And yeah, we're taking it seriously, and that's how we are fighting the competitors there.
Excellent. You're talking about the customer experience, which is key in a digital business as well in a digital bank. How do you monitor the customer experience? What do you find the bottlenecks, and how do you act?
Yeah. So I think, as I said before, we have invested as much effort in our data stack as we have done in our product stack. Data by design is essential. I remember the first days of the project stage where we were starting to build this. One of the first outcomes we built as a team was not what product we wanted to deliver, but what do we want to know about the customer.
Okay.
And we just did a spreadsheet with everything that we wanted to know about the customer. And we started building all our data processing, informational needs, advanced analytic needs, data science needs. We were building them based on that vision. And that gave us the time to really focus on building all those channels, the engineering effort that you need to do to have that data readily available in real time, right? And that's how you do it. And after that, you need to build a picture of what your what we call engagement ladder is. So again, your client starts with an account, a debit card, and an interesting promotion that was a hook for them to try, but that's it. First thing they do, they might do 2 or 3 swipes. How do you take it from there to a very profound relationship? Not by jumping into the most sophisticated product early on. You need to talk to him about bills, you need to talk to him about payroll, you need to talk to him about little savings and the way to manage them. It's very organic. And you can do it just by listening to them. Their feedback in app stores, in contact center, your NPS feedback, and then measuring day-to-day all of the activity that happens within your app and also in your open market channels.
Excellent. We are nearly at the end of our session. Just one last thought about everything we'll be talking right now.
No, I think, again, thank you for having me. I want to use the time to thank the amazing team at BBVA to make this possible. And the pride that comes with actually going after new markets and targeting new clients, because we can do great things at big banks and we can perfectly fight the fight. And I'm sure the future is going to bring a lot of happy endings for us. So thank you for having me here, and go banking.
Okay, that's a great advice, and congratulations, Javier. Thank you for being with us.